Hello and welcome back, beautiful souls. We are going to do a special dragon energy reading today. We're going to do pick a card, 3 choices. We're going to be tapping into ancient wisdom of the dragons. I also incorporated the ancestors and angels cards as well as the starseed oracle. This way we're really tapping into all that ancient wisdom. A lot of the veil seems to be lifting. So I just felt really called to pull in a lot of ancient wisdom. It's kind of like the great remembering is kind of what's coming through for me. So take it as it resonates, and we're going to clear the channel with the chimes so you can get a feel for what it is that you are drawn to as far as pile 1, 2, or 3. Closing those eyes, breathing deep, thinking about which pile best serves you, opening your eyes and making a choice when you are ready. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. All right, pile 1, let's dive in. This is definitely for those who are connected to the galactic community. Some of you, or you may just work a lot in the higher dimensions, or you may be shifting into doing so. And here's why I say that. We got the dark blue galactic dragon. Helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint. Access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. All right, so for this, the Arcturians are coming in. So for those of you who are new to my channel or haven't watched some of my other videos, I am a channel. So I channel light language and higher dimensional codes. So let's go ahead. The Arcturians are giving you a code at this time. E save o karana sa te amura e kai antushini ase a urana sa te a kuratase e mai uratase antusana a neake e sana uratasan e a uramata e sana ukana e. Fully integrating these new codes and entering into cosmic wisdom and higher service. So service to the collective, and you'll notice we also pulled the orange dragon, brings soul families and communities together. Spread belonging, warmth, and oneness, bring people everywhere together. So you're going to use this new cosmic wisdom moving forward to help you bring people together. We are shifting into the age of Aquarius, which is working, instead of from the top down, we're going to be working from grassroots up. So you're going to see yourself working more closely with those in the consciousness of love, which is also perfect because you pulled Golden Christed Dragon. Brings your higher love so that you embody the Christ light, absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. So, you know, a lot of people, myself included, I used to be, I was raised Baptist in Christianity. So I had this sort of like aversion to anything relating to Christ. But then, of course, being very studied in the Bible and going back around, realizing that Jesus's words were all of love and acceptance and community, and realizing that religion got in the way, right? And so people's cultural and political agendas got into and muddied up their, the way they presented it. But if you look specifically at Jesus's words, Christ consciousness, to me is just love consciousness. So I often just interchange that for love consciousness. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. So using this new wisdom coming to you from the universe and bringing together community to embody the fifth dimension. So this is going to be a momentous time of growth for you. And look up some meditations on like golden light. Working with the color gold this month in your meditations will serve you very well. All right, so tapping into our Starseed Oracle. I don't even know how to say this. I'm not even going to try. It's, you can see it there. I'm not really sure how to say that. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. So again, this is kind of our starseed pile. You guys may already be connecting with the galactic. If not, you're going to want to tap into, some of the beings and higher dimensional beings that work with the planet. So you might want to start with the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or the Andromedans. The Avians are a great place to start. Sirians. I'm trying to think of some of the good ones to start with. Lyrans. So those are some ones that you can start with. They tend to work with Earth quite a bit and have in the past. And then the other Starseed Oracle, we have Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. So yeah, just reiterating that you may have some starseed origins. But also remembering to stay grounded, right? So dragon energy really pulls us into the higher dimensions. And while we're doing this, we want to stay grounded and remember that we are here for the earthly experience and honoring that earthly experience, right? So you can see she's sort of embodied with this divine diamond white light. So every morning when you wake up, or whatever days it serves you, think of yourselves being embodied, and maybe even use the golden light from the dragons or white light, whatever fits you best, and surround yourself with this light so that you can go out into the world and still enjoy those small moments. Enjoy what this earth has to offer. For some of us who are starseeds, we tend to spend a lot of our time in our heads, and we really want to make sure that we also remember that our earthly journey and being in the moment, being with those we love on this planet is also worthy, and balancing out, being with our galactic family and being here on Earth. We also have Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. So we have a lot of power animals here: the wolf, the eagle, the snake. So with the snake, you're shedding old skin and you're able to shapeshift, allowing your new gifts to come through each cycle. To me, this looks kind of, like a cougar or lion. So you may want to tap into lion energy. The wolf represents Sirius A energy if you want to tap into the Sirians. And to me, the eagle is just power and strength and wisdom. So yeah, let's see how your gifts start transforming as you tap more into this dragon energy. And the dragons would like to give you an activation now. Now, this will help activate your gifts. Everyone's gift is different. So to say what that is, you follow your intuition, listen to your heart. What is the gift that you have to offer? A great place to start is thinking about what your passions are. So write a list of your passions, label them by order, or just allow it to come through, right? Sometimes it's just good to leave the possibilities open. All right, so dragon activation coming in. Now their language is very deep and very ancient, so it may sound a bit funny at first for you if you're new to the dragon language. Ola natsaka te ola te ese nusa ea ura tanama e ka o asana e ta juni ka ura tapa e na sana te su tasasi ka orana e na shuni o to konama a e sano u ta urana. So the channeled message I was getting when that was coming through is trust your gifts. Trust in these divine gifts that you have coming through and be patient. Just allow them to surface when it is their time. You may have many gifts, or you may have a specific gift that the world needs at this time. But just be present with it. Don't force it, because when we force it, we don't allow it to bloom on its own in its own time. And, we want to water that gift and allow it to grow, give it sunshine. So if we rush it, it could, it might bloom too soon and it's too cold, or, you get my point, is that we're really allowing it to come through in its own time. We also have the spirit fox for you. Trust your talents in changing times. Oh my goodness. Well, they're really driving home these new gifts that are coming to you and reminding us to stay grounded while we do this. Get out in nature. You'll notice the feathers. There's a lot of feathers. Well, I guess there's 2 cards with feathers. So reminding you to kind of stay grounded while your consciousness is soaring high. You'll also notice here the fox's heart chakra is activated, and the 3rd eye. So stay in your heart and trust the wisdom coming through. And I love that it says in changing times. Trust your talent in changing times. Know that these new talents coming through, you might be ahead of the curve, per se, meaning that the collective may not quite understand your gifts and your talents at this time, but that doesn't mean that the universe is telling you not to move forward. It simply means that you're going to be at the front of this new thing that you're bringing in, and others may catch on later, and that's okay. So just trust in your wisdom, in your divine gifts, pull in your galactic community, and feel at home here on Earth. So that's all I have for pile 1. May abundance flow to you with ease. May you follow your bliss and live the life you always dreamed of. Okay, pile 2, let's dive into your reading. We have a lot of earth energy coming through. So I'm going to start there. We have the earth guardian, stay rooted and grounded. And then we have earth and fire dragon, works with you to clear the 5th dimensional ley lines. It's time for your service. When you give, you receive. And then we have the deep blue dragon, keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on the path of life. Black dragon from Saturn, bring your wisdom through spiritual discipline. Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself. You have passed a test. Okay, so the reason I did all those at once is I'm getting this feeling that your collective, you guys, whoever chose this, some of you may feel called to work on the ley lines, to work on the grid lines of the planet. So the reason I say this is because you've passed a test, so that means you've been doing the inner work, so you're ready to really dive in. And in doing this giving, you're also going to be receiving love from the earth. So, for example, you may sit in meditation and put a protective grid of love consciousness around the planet, or whatever it is that you feel called to work on, but that's just one example. You could do it just around your specific community. If you notice there's a lot of, at this time there's a lot of division in a lot of our communities, so maybe you can work on, a heart-centered community, so for an example. But there's definitely some work to be done, and when we put our love and energy out to the universe, we receive. So you might notice, the people around you shifting. You might notice yourself just feeling more, full and heart-centered. But overall, there's definitely some work to do with the earth. You'll also notice the sun here. Enjoy success and happiness. So yes, again, like this spiritual work that you're going to be doing within yourself and on the planet is going to bring you great success and joy. So you might want to start like a community meetup, or maybe an online meetup, or maybe you want to start a blog and talk about this grid work you're doing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be grid work. It could be, anything of service that you feel called to, right? So here, the courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. So yeah, so you guys have a unique gift to share with the world, and it's time to let it out. It's time to go and do the work, right? Because sun is masculine energy. That's the doing. So for the last several months, you've probably been doing a lot of inner work. So now it's time to take all that wonderful wisdom you've gained and bring it out to the universe. So we have portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards, wild card. Yes, I love this. So, working with portals, portals within your body, and portals on the earth, and portals in multi dimensions. So, you might want to play around with some portal work. Imagine these portals opening for you so that you can tap into new intuition, new insight, and new strength and wisdom. So, the Octurians are coming in now. If you're new to my channel, I am a galactic channel and higher dimensional being channel. So I will be giving you some light language and activation codes so you can open up this portal. Écoutez, se achini aunkurata se ni takuna ne satu sana asa urata se angara a se atu shani a urata si anati kauno shani a tu sata umbarati sani aku shani na antabura ka esa ona a te antiki sine urata sa a eyamurati na shini aku a se a. And during that light code activation, the message coming through is that the portals are open for you now. Simply envision the door and step through it, accessing new information, new dimensions, and new higher wisdoms coming through for you. All you must do is ask and you shall receive. Since this reading was very specific as far as it all sort of activated around one message, I'm actually going to pull a couple more just to dive a little deeper, because that was, all very much centered around one topic. All right, we're just going to shuffle once here. We're going to do the Starseed Oracle. All right. Child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Love it. Yes. So as you're accessing these portals, you're going to be feeling this wisdom. It's like you've done this before, right? It's coming back to you. And also remembering that we are all one and really tapping into that unity consciousness. Baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Perfect. Yes, that's what we were talking about. It's time to take action. It's time to put yourself out there, but don't get overwhelmed with the responsibility, right? Take it step by step. So one thing I've noticed that's worked for me is that when I have the passion, the energy to move forward and take the steps, I do so. And when I get the intuition to rest, I rest. Whereas being a Capricorn, I have 5 signs in Capricorn. So I used to be just go, go, go all the time until I burned out, right? So now I'm learning, okay, just take your time, take the steps. If you burn out, it's not going to be fun anymore. So follow your joy and have a light heart about it. And finally, star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, and activation. Oh my gosh, how perfect. All right, sorry for the interruption. My toddler woke up, so I just had to breastfeed him back to bed. Okay, so yes, star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. How perfect is this? So yes, this is just more affirmation. Focus on this new energy coming in from the cosmos. Use your light body and help the planet and yourself create a crystal grid whenever you are in meditation and feeling up for it. And focus on the transmissions and the messages coming through, and they will help activate you moving forward. That's all for pile 2. May abundance flow to you with ease. May you follow your bliss and live the life you always dreamed of. All right, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So This is a really fun one. My pile threes, there's a lot of strong energy coming in. We have a lot of masculine energy. We have archangel energy. We have Orion energy. But then there's like, oh, and we have the stag, which is also very masculine energy. And here we have a druid that just happens to be a male. So we also have it balanced though, because then we have the seven sisters from the Pleiades. So it's interesting. It's kind of definitely more masculine energy. So this is probably going to be a time of doing for you. But the Pleiadian feminine energy coming in to remind us to go into the darkness in the space of creation, and the divine feminine in balance with the doing of the masculine. So wait, let's dive in to the dragon energy first. Okay, so I'm going to start with this golden solar dragon. Helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. So yes, again, this is my pile of leaders, and you're in a time of, tapping into your new leadership roles as well as your masculine power. So I'm going to go ahead and do a light activation. For those of you who are new to my channel, I do light language from higher dimensions, source, all that good stuff. So this particular activation is going to come from dragon energy, because we are doing our dragon reading. So for those of you who are new to dragon energy, it sounds a little funny at first. It's kind of deep and ancient. So take a deep breath. And let's tap into their energy and activation codes to help you tap into your wisdom and masculine power.
Dono sota orana se anguma orana zada de a esanu jania gudamparata se a eoma ezuno zadi jania kurana te amorana se antushinia ku ayamurana se kanduma ainka duza urana asao.
So what came through during that activation, as far as the channeled message, is spend time in the sun. Get outside and let yourself be activated by the solar energy. Also, you'll notice the other two dragon cards very much have a lot of divine white light. So to me, again, like imagine yourself being surrounded by divine white light, or the sun, or maybe working with candles a little bit more in the next few weeks to help you activate this new energy. So here we have pure white dragon from Orion. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. So as you're tapping into this new wisdom and you're out there doing, and you're, becoming an inspired leader, make sure you're trusting this pure wisdom and ascension knowledge. Take the time in meditation, using sound therapy, putting a crystalline white orb of light around you when you're out teaching, making sure that light and love and honesty and truth is coming through you. Archangel Gabriel's dragon brings purification, self-discipline with speed ascension, and brings joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. So for those of you, if you don't already work with crystals, you might want to go ahead and get yourself either a clear quartz or a rainbow quartz, something very clear and white that'll help you during this leadership role to really bring in just ascended pure energy. So it sounds like you guys have some leadership roles that are going to be coming through. That's exciting. Also, some of you might want to work with the Orions. Many people think that the Orions are all negative. This is not true. The Orion constellation holds many beings. Just like here on Earth, if you if you looked upon the earth and you looked at all our wars and destruction of the planet and how we treat each other, you might think that overall we're pretty awful. But once you get to know each individual and certain little sects and communities, you get to know that humanity at its whole is very much an embodiment of love when they're in their highest form. So just like that, the Orions, there's many beings there that are of love consciousness and who are here to help. So, of course, with Orion energy, you get the reptilians and, draconian energy, but there's also so much more. There's many beings that have, like Lyrans and Pleiadians. I mean, any being, it's kind of like, to me, when I get there, it seems kind of like an airport, right? Like it seems like a place to come and go. It seems very collective energy to me. So yeah, I mean, that's just what resonates with me. But anywho, my point being is that if you want to dive down that road of Orion energy, you can look up like star seed characteristics of Orion and kind of tap into that energy and see what resonates. And some of you might even have, a lifetime on Orion, or maybe you were part of the Orion Wars, and that maybe some of that needs to be cleared. Okay, so let's dive into the next few cards. We have Druid, hold the space, Stag, trust and thrive. So to me, these two, notice they're very green. To me, you're going to be using your new leadership role in your heart center, right? So you're going to be holding space for people, staying heart centered. And in this, you're going to trust your heart's intuition. Therefore, you're going to thrive, right? So the stag is very powerful. It's like, there's usually with, deer, it's like, one stag leads the group, right? So again, that like leadership feeling. And druids, they hold the ancient wisdom, right? So they have a lot of this ancient wisdom, as do the dragons, which is, something that you will be able to tap into as you do the work and, tap more into the divine wisdom. It also says, fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites extremes of life. So as a leader, you're going to notice, you can see there's all these like light beings around, and this person is just surrendering. So to me, it's a reminder that when you are in a leadership role, you want to make sure to just hold space, right? You want to hold space for those in your collective, in your community that you're working with. And just a reminder, this doesn't necessarily mean in person. It could just be 3 people online, right? And you meet up once a month online or something. It doesn't have to be necessarily like a meetup group. But yeah, people are going to have, a safe place where they can, express the extremes of life and come to you as that leader, as that person who can hold space for them. The 7 Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life, Expression. So, like I was saying earlier, you want to balance this masculine energy with the Pleiades 7 Sisters energy. So you might want to look into Pleiadian starseeds and their characteristics. Orion and Pleiades to me are opposites, right? So this could also be saying that you might notice that you have in your leadership role, that you are sort of balancing out this masculine and feminine energy for people. And maybe that's one of your gifts that's going to come through. Also, be sure to be expressing yourself, right? So knowing that in a leadership role, it's okay to still express yourself and your unique spark. Sometimes when we become leaders, we want to just tell people what they want to hear. And knowing that you can say no wrong in your leadership role because, people, I'll give my favorite example. So when I'm doing classes, right? When I have intuitive messages coming through, it doesn't mean that that message is going to pertain to everybody. It might just be that one person in the room needs to hear it at that time, and that's okay. The rest will benefit from maybe another sentence or another phrase. So being sure to really, be open to that and not changing who you are because there are others in the room, right? So we want to release those patterns of people pleasing. I'm going to pull one more clarifying card just to see if we can get a little more in depth. Sometimes when I do this, it just reiterates what we've already talked about, but I just want to see, because I know some of you might be a little tentative with a leadership role. So make sure that you know that it can be very small. It could just be having a meetup with a friend once a month. Yes. Okay, perfect. So we got the void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. Okay, so to me, this is just another reminder that when you're feeling overwhelmed, when the leadership role seems too intense, just stop. Take a break. Know that when you're fully inspired is when you want to go out to the world and express your wisdom. And it might even just be that you take time to just hold space for people, right? So sometimes just in holding the space for people and allowing them to come to you and ask questions, or just holding space for them energetically and not even in person. Sometimes just being the listener can be a great gift in a leadership role. So maybe some of you, your leadership role will simply pertain to being that person that people can come to. So my attention is drawn back to this card real quick to finish up this reading. Some of you, for one, may want to start working with the archangels. That's always a fun step to take. Here I have the archangel deck of cards. Let's see, where are we? Here we are. There's many, of course, and I don't think Doreen Virtue is selling them anymore. So like these came out of China somewhere, like some like random website. It was hard to find, but there's a lot of new people coming out with archangel decks. So that's a fun thing to do. And also just a reminder to make sure that your channel is clear and pure. Make sure you're using the tools like sage, Palo Santo, candles, essential oils, crystals, whatever it is that is magic for you to clear your channel. I like to use the chimes as well. Meditation with sound therapy, just making sure that you're keeping yourself pure and protected. And all that takes is the intention behind it, right? So I like to use tools because they're fun for me. Like I have this black salt from Aspen Botanicals. So I'll send the link in the bio for that. She has a lot of great, work, tools for your spiritual work. But yeah, in general, for me, I like to have that physical reminder, but I also put up, energetic, orbs of light or protection, or I call upon the archangels. So whatever resonates with you, just make sure that you have a clear channel when you're doing your spiritual work and your leadership role. May abundance flow to you with ease. May you follow your bliss and live the life you always dreamed of.